Everyone wants to be successful, but in our modern culture, success has become synonymous with hard work. And so we praise those who are constantly hustling. We love the phrase, hustle and grind. If your Instagram page has anything to do with personal development or self-improvement, you have probably come across this phrase. Hustle and grind, grind and hustle. But there is no one who is more miserable than someone who is always hustling. Think about it. Someone who is always busy working will never be able to enjoy their work, because when you're always working, you don't ever get to take a break. In other words, you don't ever get to enjoy the present moment. So what is all this hard work for? Some years ago, I was working with a financial advisor who was helping me manage my money. And I remember talking to him about how I want to retire early, and he said something along the lines of, "Work hard now so that you can retire young." And at the time, I took his advice to heart and worked super hard. But now, after all these years, I look back and I wonder if it was worth it. And the answer is no. When I was working hard, I was unable to enjoy any of the money that I made. Because every single dollar was just invested back into making more money, I wasn't able to buy myself anything nice or take any vacations or even treat my family out for dinner. Working hard made me miss out on life itself. And by the time I had enough money saved up to retire, I was burnt out and miserable. And so although I am financially better off than I was, I am not happy. What is the point of having all this money if you have no one to spend it with? This is why the old adage is true. Money won't buy you happiness, but it will certainly buy you misery. We live in an age where everyone is trying to build an empire. We are told to hustle and grind until we make it. But where exactly are we going? What are we really working for? When we get to the top, what next? Everyone keeps pushing themselves to climb the corporate ladder, but no one ever stops to ask themselves, do I even want to climb this ladder? We keep working harder and harder, but we don't ask ourselves, harder for what? The world around us encourages us to grind. From the moment we wake up to the moment we go to bed, we are inundated with messages from people telling us to grind. If you wake up before 5 a.m., you are told that you are a morning person. But if you wake up at 4:50 a.m., you are told to stop ruining your life by waking up too early. Nothing is ever good enough. A few months ago, I decided to set some new goals for myself. And as I was writing down my goals, a friend of mine saw them and started criticizing me for setting unrealistic standards for myself. He told me that I should lower my expectations because I would never achieve these goals of mine. And at the time, I ignored him and went ahead and pursued these goals. A few weeks later, I ended up failing to reach these goals that I had set for myself. And when I told my friend about this, he smugly said, "I told you so. See? I told you that you were setting unrealistic standards for yourself." We live in a day and age where everyone is busy tearing others down. Whenever someone else succeeds, we're quick to tell them that they got lucky. Instead of being happy for another person's success, we'd rather bring them down to our level. Rather than being inspired by another person's success, we are envious of them. And rather than trying to learn from their success, we prefer to criticize them. One of the things that I admire most about the elderly is their ability to simply enjoy life without worrying about what tomorrow brings. They know how to appreciate what they have right now. I often see older people sitting on benches in the park, feeding the birds and smiling. They seem to find joy in simple things like this. But we are losing this ability to be content with whatever we have. Every single one of us is capable of achieving great things. But most of us choose to play it safe. We choose to follow the crowd because the crowd always seems to know what it's doing, right? But the problem with following the crowd is that you end up becoming average. And being average is what causes you to be unhappy. It's only when you choose to walk down a path less traveled that you become truly happy. Only the brave few dare to walk down this path. And because they are few, these people tend to be lonely. They have no one who understands them. Most of us are terrified of being alone. And so instead of walking down this path, we choose to follow the crowd. And it's no surprise that most of us end up being unhappy. Why? Because it is only when you choose to go against the crowd, when you choose to ignore the noise, when you choose to pursue your dreams that you become truly happy. There is a certain amount of suffering that comes with pursuing your dreams. There is a reason why they call it the Sufferfest. It is the process of improving your life and making it the way that you want it to be. It involves taking risks. It means working hard. It requires you to put yourself out there and face rejection. But this struggle is what makes the journey worthwhile. It is through this struggle that you become stronger. It is through this that you grow as a person. No one ever becomes happy by conforming to the status quo. No one ever finds peace by following the crowd. Many years ago, I used to dream of becoming a writer. I wanted to write stories that would inspire millions of people around the world. But I let go of this dream because I thought it was silly and pointless. So I followed the crowd and chose to study business in college. I ended up getting a job in finance. And even though I was making lots of money, I was unhappy. Only when you choose to listen to your heart, when you choose to follow your dreams, that is when you become happy. Happiness is not found at the end of a rainbow. It's not hidden at the end of a long and hard road. It's here, right in front of you. It is waiting for you to grab it. It is calling out to you. Are you going to ignore its call forever, or are you finally going to listen to it? In today's world, we are surrounded by people who are stuck in the rat race. We are told that it is normal to be stressed out all the time. Being stressed out has become synonymous with being productive. We think nothing of sending emails at 3 a.m. or working on a Sunday, but we should not allow ourselves to become slaves to the system. Remember that it is our choices that determine whether we lead our lives or whether the system leads us. It is our choices that determine whether we become happy or miserable. Stop letting the system push you around. Start taking control of your own life. I spent many years of my life listening to the voices of others. I listened to what my friends had to say about my life. I listened to what my parents had to say about my future. I listened to what my teachers had to say about my abilities. But in doing this, I lost myself. I lost my sense of identity. I lost my passions and I lost my purpose in life. But eventually I realized that I needed to stop listening to everyone else and start listening to myself. I realized that I needed to start trusting myself. I realized that I needed to start believing in myself again. And ever since I started doing these things, my life has turned around. I became happier. I became more peaceful. And most importantly, I became more authentic. All of us have dreams and aspirations, but most of us never pursue them. We let our dreams slip away. And then when we look back on our lives, we regret not following our dreams. We feel remorse over the paths that we didn't take. We feel pain over the opportunities that we missed out on. Don't let this be you. Right now, there are hundreds of comments under this video from people saying that they are tired of the hustle culture, but they still feel compelled to hustle. They want to escape the rat race, but they don't know how. Remember that you are not alone in this. Millions of people around the world are feeling the same way you are. But until we choose to take action, until we choose to walk down a different path, we will continue to suffer. Thank you for watching.